47. Check, 47. Let's make these babies proud.
They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They run for the first time with Justice Hill, and he stopped immediately there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 29-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Throwing now is Breeze. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. A gain there of 21 yards.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. From the gun, it's Breeze. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Ted Ginn there to make the grab. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. Let's see what they do here this go around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Jackson now. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. 12 yards there and a first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do in that one as a receiver is got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
on second down and 4. Jackson, pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. A.J. Klein, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. On 3rd down, Jackson. And that is incomplete. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. Here's Sherrills. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
A very solid gain of 27.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Breeze now to throw. And Josh Hill has it. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 12, and he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
This pass into the arms of Snead. And they get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Jackson, and the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
And he gets it down to the 32. After 7-0 on EA Sports. To throw is Jackson. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, you can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
A running play on first down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Marcus Davenport there to take him down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Flushed out right. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
They'll look to run with Ingram. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized. That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Tucker's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
The Saints take over first and 10.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive, followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Mike 40, Mike 40.
5. Here we go.
Check Mike 40. Yep. Watch the twist. Let's go.
Ready, set.
Breeze now. And complete, right side to Cook. A first down there on a pickup of 25. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On 2nd and 9, Breeze. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 37. Michael Thomas, who turned 26 in March, now the league's highest paid wideout, signing a 5-year, $100 million extension in late July that will run through 2024.
He's the highest paid non-quarterback ever, though we know as far as these things go, that could change quickly in the league, but still a huge contract for him and deserved. 125 catches last year, led the NFL, 5th highest total in league history. Not bad for a guy that when he played Little League football, he's one of the guys that, you know, the coach said, okay, who hasn't played yet? Because everyone has to play a minimum number of plays. That's what he was doing when he was in Little League football. Now he's one of the best receivers in the NFL.
Kill, turn up.
36.
Hey, look, 48. Look, you don't like the 48, right?
On 2nd and 11 now. Breeze. It's brought in right side by Ginn. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped it to 1. A big pickup of 38. They'll run it with Kamara. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. A 1-yard run on first down, another yard that gets him into the end zone on second down. Maybe not much for the yards per carry average, but hey, 6 points. Yeah, bottom line is it doesn't matter there. You've got to find a way to wedge it into the end zone. Yards per carry, that's out the window. How do you score? And on the second down, they had something going. They got a yard before. They thought they could do it again, and they got it done. And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD. Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards the 2-minute warning. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
What's tight? Tight is right. What's tight? Tight is right.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And he's taken down here by the Saints.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. From the gun, Jackson. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
21.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. Breeze on the hook up to Thomas for the New Orleans 1st.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Shotgun now for Breeze. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver. And now it's third down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Here's Breeze to throw. And Gibbs got it. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Breeze now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Now Breeze. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Brandon Carr on the coverage there.
Well, Charles, if you think so far the early part of the preseason, who has stood out? If you take a peek back at the draft, really the first round, it was pretty defensively minded. But there were 3 quarterbacks taken. Kyler Murray first, Daniel Jones 6th, Dwayne Haskins 15th. Of those guys, they've looked pretty good.
I agree with you, Brandon. When you talk about those 3 quarterbacks, and you're right, the rest of the draft, we're talking about big linemen, right? We're talking about defensive players, not a lot of skilled players in the first round. But let's take the quarterbacks very quickly. Kyler Murray, by acclamation, went to Arizona. Everyone excited about it. And I think his team remains excited about his prospects. They're eager to see him play. He became the starter as soon as he was drafted. Daniel Jones, that was a different situation in New York. The fans weren't real excited about him coming in. But the reason they drafted him has a similar demeanor and talent to Eli Manning, and he's acquitting himself quite nicely in the early going. And Dwayne Haskins a little more up and down in Washington, but they love the big arm of this guy, and he's back at home. Remember, he grew up in Potomac, Maryland.
So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. His throw incomplete. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
A throw over the middle, taken in. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. Now Breeze. And it is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try to get the ground game going with Ingram. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Mike 22, he's coming. 22's coming. Mike. Hey, keep it up. Keep it up.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. He uncorks it for Snead. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that.
Touchdown, New Orleans! Alvin Kamara, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quick.
Looking for Snead, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he will.